All right, this is a 2002 Winnebago Vista Volkswagen 21B. We're going to start the video again because maybe the third time, because each time I was getting phone calls right in the middle of it. So I'm going to try. I found out that I can put on airplane mode and hopefully get through this. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of questions about pictures of this, pictures of that. So let's try this again. I'm probably going to forget something this third time because, you know, I'm trying. This is the carrier on the back. I remembered now that I put the 2-inch receiver on the back so you can attach a bicycle rack to it. There is the spot right there is where the leak was. That apparently I hit something and didn't notice it for quite a while. So I'll show you the inside a little bit. Little step there to watch the back window. There's really, all these are open, so when they shut, I hope to make it open faster for this video. Let's see what we got here. This is I switched over to a pin and stainless steel bolt for those made it a little more secure on the inside. The sewer attachment. This piece here spins, so you can open access. There's your winterizing area. Just open up 2 valves. Stuff and you're good to go. The tires, like I mentioned, I think I bought them at the beginning of this year, so 3,500 some miles on them. Probably moving pretty quick because it's freezing out here. Here is the cable. I don't know how long it is. I'm going to guess it's got to be 12 foot at least. The propane tank. Not sure what size it is. But I tell you, we've been on some pretty long trips. I really don't use it for the heat, or I use it for the refrigerator. And that refrigerator works ice cold. I mean, it's great. It's really surprising how that thing works. This is the not quite pass through, but if you look at that area there, when we go on the other side, it connects with the other side there. It looks like all galvanized or aluminum roofs. There is no issues with that whatsoever. Take a quick look underneath here because a lot of people were asking about that. There's rust. There's nothing here to really speak of. In the front, there's none. I mean, that I saw. I've had that bottom piece off to change the oil every 3,000 or 4,000 miles. The thing I did notice was the little crack here I got on the outer plastic. It works fine. I guess pulling into that storage place, which will give me about 4 inches through there. But then these working. I believe it was a front 3 because they seem to be a little corroded on the inside. So it's one of those things where you have to. You're driving at 70 miles an hour with the torrential downpour, and any little opening in those things kind of gets water seeping in there, and after 20, 30 trips of pouring down rain, especially when we drive to Florida, I mean, we're on the road for 16 hours, sometimes raining the entire time. So this was a whole area that was replaced underneath here, and that's all the original fiberglass. Glued to the new marine grade plywood on the inside. So it was really, the way they built these things are really, I think they could have done a much better job and used that marine grade plywood. Headlights are super clear. Again, the code I read on one of the tires was 2016 year tires, but they were purchased by me in 2018. So again, back here is just like all brand new. I mean, it looks it. I've had this thing for 5 years and I've loved it. It's just that we switching over to we purchased a travel trailer that is not going to sit on the permanent side. Because all we were really doing, it seemed like, was taking this instead of the 14 miles or the driving this to Florida, which really didn't make much sense when I had a BMW that gets 35 miles an hour. The generator fits in here, bolts right to there. So this piece would drop out. This aluminum diamond plate would drop out. This channel would drop out. The generator bolts up from underneath it. Receiver Yeah, nothing special about it. It's 2-inch ball. That's right here is just that channel I was showing you that I installed that I'd sitting around the house. So it's the generator. I'll get pictures of it's in the basement. Again, it worked fine when I took it out, but again, it's been sitting for years. Coming into it, replaced that because they're known to break off all the time, so I put a heavier duty one on there. Step. Oh, you know what? I did forget. Go to the roof because this is the spot. 2-quart epoxy. I guess I could sand it down if you wanted to. Kind of a reminder to me to check this more often. Really nothing special about the roof. It is aluminum or galvanized roof, so you're not going to have the same problems. The new patches, only because people are complaining that they go bad. But again, I seal all these things now all the time. I go around and check everything. Which is something you're going to have to do. I mean, it's a house. You're driving at 70 miles an hour in the rain. So imagine your windows in your house 70 miles an hour. All these little tabs here. So when I was driving down the road, if I wanted to run the air conditioner inside, I could, but I put that new compressor on the dash AC, and it keeps the whole thing. I mean, everything out of me, but I hope I'm not forgetting anything because I've done this a couple times. Everything works. Oh, there goes my ladder. There's the scan gauge, which I'll turn on in a little bit. I'm going to show you the headliner here. That's my handprints more than anything else from when I did it. But you know, up there. Really just notice it looking like that now. I'll try to wash it off. But this is the other side. This is the side I was really talking about today. Because it was painted with the I guess you call it fabric paint. There's staining here, staining there. Again, it's 16 years of driving. There we go. It's just right over the parking lot here, but it's showing me the water temperature, the transmission fluid temperature, voltage, and your average miles per gallon. Go outside if you want to listen to that. Over here runs great. I mean, it really does. Oh, yeah, that got me. But I don't know what to hear here. You're probably not going to be able to hear much on that. Don't remember. Again, a third time. But this was the other side of this. Get the access to the other side. Just double checking to make sure. On there. Okay. Now let's go in here. And this is where I'm talking of the 16 years of traffic getting through. This is I'm going to try and get everything I can here. Getting a lot of backlight. This area here was really from let's see if I get my finger in there. From this point down is where I replaced everything in there with. Well, let's come back to that. I'll take that all out. We're gonna take that all out and take a good look at it. The inside here, again, a lot of it's shadow markings. In here, the roof, again, perfect. No issues with this. it all. We'll just go around so everybody's comfortable with what we got here. Got the cabinets, side cabinets. There's, as a matter of fact, there's all the manuals. I mean, every manual that came with this thing is in there, and anything that I put on, the manual's there for it also. Everything's probably making everyone dizzy from spinning around like this. But oh, there's my bag of popcorn. Huh? Make sure I take that with me. A little bit of popcorn-aholic. Gauges. Again, I wish I can get the generator light to come on to show you when I shut it off, but I guess with it disconnected, you can't get that. Heater works great. The TV, again, this here, this is a dinette, folds down to a little bed. Yeah, the granddaughter could fit in there easily. Yeah, my daughter fits in there easily. Refrigerator is 3-way. This thing really, surprisingly, works very well. Works best on gas. I will say that it works best on gas. Still original stickers and stuff still stuck in there. But, it works better on gas, but you just need to give it 24 hours on the electric or 12 volt. This point here, point that out again if I can. From this point down, and from the corner here to the other corner, let's get over here in the shower stall. That whole back wall is completely that marine grade plywood stuff, underlayment I'm going to call it, but it's marine grade, so it'll never rot or rust. And on top of that is this fiberglass panel. The leak ended really where I put that expansion, that joint right there, but it looked kind of silly not matching, so I want to go ahead and went all the way across to the wall, tied it to kind of makes it all uniform. It was just the way I am, I guess. So the tub, very rarely do we ever shower in this thing. Commode works great. We may have showered just coming back from a triathlon, or I believe when a couple of really far away triathlons I've done, I kind of didn't want to stink everybody out, so I get a shower. The back wall in here, light in here. So from this point over was replaced too, so everything matched, you know. So everything's kind of keep uniformity. I mean, I'm kind of pain in the ass when it comes to that stuff, so I'm gonna make sure everything's right. There's the information you may need for whatever. It does have, like I showed you, the receiver on the back. I used it for carrying the carrier, not really towing. But you can tow 2,000 pounds, 200-pound ton weight. At least that's what it says in the manual. Again, it's a Volkswagen VER6, and I'm surprised how well it runs on the highway. But I don't know if I tow anything at that level. Flat, sure, but not at any highway speeds. A little bit of Velcro to make sure that this beautiful accordion type door stays shut. The kids weren't unhappy when you make a turn and the door comes flying on open. But it is a DVD player. I'm leaving everything that's bolted in. I don't want to have any screw holes for anybody that stick up. So I was thinking about taking it, but you know, it's screwed into there. This is a little inverter that you can run that TV off the battery, or the 110 volts if you're plugged in with the antenna. Hook up from there is where you plug in there. You tie into the regular battery. That battery jack feeds that inverter. Little temperature piece. Everything on this thing works. I mean, I can't figure anything. It really doesn't. Microwave works great. Lights, fan. Drawers you got to lift up. All the keys, and this is an adapter for the thing in the back. For a 4-way plug that came with it. I guess if you're gonna try and taste something, you can have that. Heater will blow you out of this place. It's unbelievable if you want to use it. But again, it turns on and off. You have to realize that it's gonna. Let's try going the right way with it, Eric. go. Okay. And the air conditioner works great. I mean, I am surprised that they put a 13,000 BTU air conditioner in a probably less than 200 square foot area. I mean, this is a 7.5, I believe a 7.5 that kick you out of here. I mean, you freeze. You got to bring out the quilts. So again, there's nothing really going on with this unit. The carpeting, again, like I said, it's 16 years of traffic on it, and you know, kids and carrying stuff in and out. But again, I'm trying to get it the best I can. It probably looks worse in the camera than it does here. The worst spot is behind the driver's seat right here. That was where I finally saw that the leak was coming in. So that's where the spot was. So everything else about it, I mean, you can probably scrub that. I don't know. It's really up to you. My plan would have been to switch all this whole thing over to hardwood flooring, or that Allure vinyl wood flooring. It looks really nice, and that's what I was going to do. But you know, things change. Yeah, let's try to get underneath here. Again, it's still running. It's running great. I mean, there's no issues with this thing at all. There's another inverter back here. What I used to do is that for the really long trips, I'd plug in the old back massager. Plug in the back massager into that, and or if the radio has a USB plug, but this one also has a USB plug that there we go, we're getting that the average, we're not going anywhere. So but you're showing the transmission fluid temperature, which to me was probably one of the engine temperature, which is one of the most important things we use, because of the fact that they were notorious to have the weak transmission. So as long as you didn't overheat these, you're in good shape. So the first thing I did was put the transmission cooler on it. Let's see if we can get what's going on. Rock solid, no problems. This hood. So nothing special about this. You can it's gonna be a little tough for you to see here, but right in there is the transmission dipstick right there. So they don't come with it. Crazy, but especially when they have weak transmissions the way they do. So I installed that, and again, you're not gonna be able to see, but right in here, that front one is a transmission cooler, which I'll tell you made a big difference. I put that scan gauge on there, and never, well, I should say never, but you don't see it over 210, 215 degrees. And according to the chart, which I'll give to that person who overtakes it, is if it never gets over 230 degrees, it's going to give you 124,000 miles out of that transmission. And it steps down incredibly. If you get to 250 degrees in it, you're going to get 60-some thousand miles. If you get it up to 400 degrees, that transmission temperature, you're going to get like 1,000 miles out of it, which means like you're climbing, I would think you're like climbing like a Mount Everest and towing a trailer at that point. But I don't know, people have done some crazy things. But again, these were the leaks that were up there. I believe I got everything, but I don't know. The fire extinguisher, oh yeah, underneath here. Let's see what we got here. Again, we used to put our DVDs, a couple hundred of ones. We probably never only watched like 4 of them out of the 100 that we kept in there. That right there is the access to the coach battery. It's got a weird special key that fits into it. That's in the drawer. Everything comes with it. I mean, I'm not gonna lose it in the meantime. That's why I put it in the drawer. So I'm not sure what else I can show everybody. But oh yeah, we want to take this part. I'm gonna take all this down here. Let's get this out of here. Sorry if the camera's gonna jump all over the place for a little bit. We're gonna take that off there, and we're gonna just take a look and see what this is like. Again, it's all marine grade. Here, this is a underlayment, marine grade underlayment on top of 3/4 inch marine grade plywood. This stuff is using ships. I believe I paid $100 some the sheet for it. And because it was it was exactly 3/4 of an inch, I needed like 1 1/16 inch to match up with the old weird styrofoam junk they had in there before. So I put this on top of it. That's what the seam is, just for the that underlayment. This underlayment piece, a 3/4 piece. I mean, this thing is rock solid. I mean, my personal opinion is this area is great for kids. If you're a 300-pound person and you stay right over here, you're gonna be fine. If you're gonna be a 300 and some, put 2 people or 3 people up here and over that part, we'll go outside and look, and that's what kind of concerned me about it. But you got that overhang. So to me, anything past this point, this here is where that seam was. You can see up inside there. That's a factory seam wide. I can't answer that. I can't answer for some engineers' thoughts and why they do things, but they put a seam right there. So this is a 3/4 inch ring braid. That over there is a 3/4, but that's only like a 6 or 8 inch long piece that goes up there. Again, I couldn't match that exact cord, so it's all caulked in there instead of ring braid. You'll see. Again, this is a 16-year-old unit. There's some weathering on the curtains here. This is a long video, but you know, I get so many questions for pictures and all that. That's for the remotes. So if you're laying up there and you need the remote for the TV, you've got a place to put it instead of searching all over the RV for it where you put it. So we try and keep it together. Really can't think of anything else, people. Again, my personal belief is this thing is in great shape. You can make your own opinions and decide whether to bid or not. I've had it for 5 years and cannot complain one thing about it, except for my stupidity of not seeing that leak in the back and not investigating and caulking for the first year the ones in the front, or just at least just checking them. So that was really all on me. That's really about it. All right, I'm out. Good luck.